All right, we're on a new body of water. Now this body of water is a place that I spend a lot of time chasing walleyes. I'm going to create a custom map of one of my favorite areas, and it's off this shoreline point. In late fall, typically you want to look for those steep drop-offs that dump into deeper water. Those are key holding areas. We have the whitefish and the tulipy that are moving up onto these shallow shelves, and those big fish will stage and take advantage of feeding on those fish when they're up in those areas. This is why I fish here. Look at the size of these fish. I'm going to save that as a waypoint. Even though I have detailed mapping, Insight Genesis custom mapping will show me the bottom composition. It'll show me the density, the hard spots, the soft spots. You can see the double echo. We know that's a really hard bottom. That'll actually show up on the map when we create it. And in the world of walleye fishing, where it goes from hard bottom to soft bottom, are key magnets for fish. And you can see here we got fish out off the break. This is a little bit softer spot. Now you can see here we still have some weed growth up on the top. I'm running out to the end of my grid. Now I'm going to move to another spot. I'm going to go to an offshore sunken island that has some deep water adjacent to it. We're going to map that out. You have this structure that's surrounded by deep water, and you have another deeper hole over here. This is one of those isolated areas that will attract big fish and hold them for a long time. They can move up and down that stair step. It gives them a lot of comfort areas, as well as a lot of opportunity to ambush bait fish that are moving up on that hump. We're completing our final mapping run on this particular spot. So we've got 2 new maps. We're gonna load these up on the computer and create another set of Insight Genesis custom mapping.
Well, we uploaded the sonar logs that we just recorded. Let's zoom in, see what we got.
Let's go under our contours and make that at 1 foot contours. And let's zoom in off this corner here. Let's bring up the bottom composition. When you're fishing those breaks, those isolated humps, you know, typically an isolated hump is a hard spot that hasn't eroded away, but where does those hard spots extend out into the deeper water? So, okay, we're gonna track this. You can see us moving along here. Now that darker red spot is a hard spot, and you can see the correlation between there and there, proving that. Now we'll get to the white area, the gray area, which is a soft spot. We can see that this is a soft area. Now we're coming back up on the break, the bottom's getting harder. Now we have a real hard bottom with weed cover on top. When I look at this, probably the most key spot other than up on top is out here on the end where that hard pan is. And that's where fish will hold and stay. So I'm going to concentrate on that dark red spot first.
Well, let's go look at the weeds now. Turn on the vegetation layer.
And there you go, there's all the weeds. We're coming across, you can see the green weeds on top of the hump.
Well, here's the map of the first area that we did. And you can see a lot of good contours. Oh my gosh, this is great.
Now, I'd have never guessed that that's how that point looked based on the bottom composition. You can see where the hard spot areas are pretty specific on the very top coming out, and off the sides, it's softer.
You want to see the vegetation layer?
Let's go for the vegetation.
Not much here, but there's a little vegetation up top.
I spend a lot of time fishing this area. I've got a pretty good feel in regards to where the weed lines are. That weed line is dead accurate.